Now, Darren Farwell of the Farwell Group joins us so we can learn more about estate planning and investing for our future tax efficiently. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn. Marilyn, I'm sure most of our listeners have heard the old saying, the devil's in the details. In fact, I bet we all have some stories to prove that's true. In fact, I have one today. A story about the detail of naming beneficiaries, and specifically the challenges that may arise if there is no beneficiary named. That is, if you don't name a specific beneficiary for your registered plans like RSPs and LIRAs, RIFs and LIFs, and what happens when there is no beneficiary for your TFSAs. And don't forget, segregated funds, pension plans, insurance contracts, and bank accounts. It's important to review your beneficiary designations for all of these things periodically with your advisor to ensure they reflect your current wishes. At the Farwell Group, we don't care just about your money. We care about you and those you care most about. That's why reviewing all beneficiary designations is an ingrained part of our process. We call it your personal roadmap, and that's what we do for all of our clients. But not all advisors do this, and I have lots of stories about the challenges that people faced when beneficiaries were not properly named. For example, my story today about Danya. Her husband died suddenly, surprisingly, and unfortunately quite young. In processing his estate, which proved to be a much bigger job than Danya imagined, that's a whole topic of its own for another day, Danya discovered that neither her husband's RRSP nor one of his two TFSA accounts had a named beneficiary. The immediate challenges were twofold. Number one, these assets, which could have gone directly to Danya, these assets were folded into his probate estate and thus were subject to probate tax. This was an entirely unavoidable cost. And number two, because the assets had to go through estate probate, the process of Danya receiving the funds was quite long. Had she been named as beneficiary, the transfer could have happened in weeks. In the end, everything was fine. The funds flowed through to her. But these were challenges that could easily have been avoided. Danya was upset that her late husband's advisor hasn't asked these questions, so she was looking for a new advisor who looks into the detail. A tax-free savings account allows for two types of designations: beneficiary and successor holder. RSPs only permit one type of designation, beneficiary. RIFs allow two beneficiary options, beneficiary and successor annuitant. Locked-in plans, segregated funds, pension plans, and insurance contracts all have distinct rules about beneficiary designations as well. So be aware. There are a lot of details to be aware of. Ensure that you get the right result. When we set up Danya's new accounts, we'll be getting into the details of who her beneficiaries will be, including details like alternate or contingent beneficiaries. If you have questions, schedule a time to meet us. Visit the estate planning section on our website, thefarwellgroup.ca, or call for a free copy of our guidebook for estate planning, which covers some of these beneficiary issues. Don't create challenges that are easy to avoid. Danya knows all about that now. And from here, she can move ahead with a feeling of confidence that the details are looked after.
You've always told us you don't know what you don't know. And today you've opened my eyes, and I'm sure many listeners, to the idea that estate planning and having the right beneficiary advice makes a difference. It can save time, it can save money, it can eliminate aggravation. And Danya's story is a wonderful example of that. If someone wants to talk to Darren Farwell and the Farwell Group and see if their ducks are in a row and avoid pitfalls, the number is 416-863-7501. That's 416-863-7501. The Farwell Group. You'll know what you need to know once you've spoken to them. Thank you, Darren.
Thank you, Marilyn. Always nice to be here and join you.